Well, look at those. Pretty neat. Yeah, pieces. Nice big pumpkins. Nice wagon.
Sun's coming up, cake's on the griddle. Life ain't nothing but a honey, honey riddle. Thank God I'm a country boy. Well, I got a fine wife and I got my own fiddle. Sun's coming up, cake's on the griddle. Life ain't nothing but a honey, honey riddle. Thank God I'm a country boy. Woo! Okay, that's it.
At night, when it's dark here.
How is he still living?
Who?
This land was made for you and me. As I was walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me and in the island from California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. I've roamed it.
Do a close-up and maybe go inside the door a little bit and then come back.
Back about 20, 25 years ago, they had a mascot cat here in the village, and this was kind of her home.
I want you to video this.
I am.
Welcome to the Jeffersonian Print Shop.
I am videoing.
I'm gonna
Yes.
step up because I'm starting to get here. Let me get behind you.
Y'all are welcome to look around. If you get good quality images,
Should be able to.
okay. This is our collection of old printing presses that has been donated to the village.
Very nice.
I am in the process of trying to learn how to do this stuff. Hopefully one of these days we maybe get everything back up and running where we can really show it off.
Yeah, isn't it amazing what they had to do to print a newspaper in the old days?
I can show you. Each one of those is an individual letter, and you had to set everything by hand for what you wanted to say.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you got everything lined up, you lock it down tight, put it in your press. I can show you here. Your type went in here. You put ink up here on the top plate. Put your paper in there you wanted to do. This is 3x5 size press. There was, pull the one out, put another one in. Repeat as needed.
Right. Very nice. Well, thank you.
A lot of these are the same principle, just bigger, and some of them are a little faster.
Thank you. Don't trip.
It's kind of funny. Other than that,
If we got a few minutes, we'll lay down on the couch here. See what? Something must be wrong with me.
yeah.
We're outdoors all the time. It's kind of just like that. Yeah. Yeah, super in my
You guys remember Ed Parker?
Took after your dad, didn't
You
you?
know that
Yeah.
sounds familiar.
You ride your bikes then too? Mountain bikes?
He worked at
Yeah.
Bob and Ed's.
Yep.
Barber
Been trying to ride
shop
every
on Main
weekend.
Street.
Not so
Okay.
much
They had
on the
a shop
road.
there.
I just
And then
don't
he
trust
took up the
cars.
blacksmithing and wood
So
burning.
People, it is.
yeah, so all greenways and sometimes some light.
You live in,
I know that name kind of sounds familiar, but.
I've never, actually never been, they got the old part of town.
They just
Yeah,
lived over
we
here,
live about
two blocks
8
below.
minutes from the old
Okay.
part of town. in St. Charles.
Yeah, he was doing something.
Yeah, that old brick road.
Through.
All the way to
You guys
I
need
got
a
money to go with
business
that.
card? Hi,
Here's
Norman,
the
Brenda.
name.
How are you guys?
John and Beth Levin.
Doing good.
How you doing?
Doing well.
Here's one of our cards.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
You know who I am?
You look really familiar.
Brenda Baldwin.
Well, you know, I was thinking that maybe it was your daughter.
No,
Yeah, how are you?
it's me in flesh. I'm doing good. We're gonna put this on YouTube.
Okay.
Introduce yourself, John.
Well, I'm John Lovin, Bell Rive, and working here at the blacksmith shop at the Jefferson County Historical Society, and been blacksmithing for 40-some years, and enjoy demonstrating for the public. We go to a lot of festivals every year, and we enjoy talking to people and sharing our knowledge of blacksmithing.
Wow. Yeah, great.
I'm working on a knife right now, made out of an old file.
Wow. So you have to heat that up.
All right, I'm heating this up to about 1,800 degrees,
1800. Wow.
and I judge that temperature by the color of the steel.
Really?
So when I bring this out of the fire, I'm looking for a kind of a bright cherry red. And that's how blacksmiths over the centuries have always judged the temperature.
Wow.
That's about 1,800. And what I'm doing, I'm drawing out the cutting edge of this knife. I'm making the cutting edge wider and thinner. And that term is called drawing out.
Now, I have a question. How did it get to be that shape? Did you have to hammer that out, or did you start with?
No, I hammered it out. The
You
first
did?
thing I did, I drew out the point
Okay.
and the point of the knife. The second step, I put it over the edge of the anvil and hammered straight down on the edge of the anvil, and that makes that notch.
Okay.
And that tells me where the blade of the knife is going to be and where the handle of the knife. I'll come back later and put a oak or walnut handle on this. But after I do all the heating and heat treating and everything's done for that.
Now, what is the name of that steel knife? Is it
Damascus.
Damascus. Do you ever do that?
Yes,
You do?
Damascus just means there's different layers of steel.
Okay.
Usually a high carbon steel and a low carbon steel, because the low carbon steel will be darker in color. The high carbon steel will be a brighter, shinier color. And that's how you get that pattern.
Do you have to put those two
Yeah,
together?
forge weld them together.
Wow.
Yeah,
And then hammer them out?
hammer them out. It's all done in the forge.
Wow.
Yeah.
Takes a long time, I
It
guess.
takes a long time. That's the reason the Damascus knives are rather expensive.
Yeah.
Because of the time involved. It's
Wow.
really, the steel's not much different from what I'm using today. I'm just using one layer, so it's not really Damascus. But it's interesting that the Damascus type steel was made hundreds of years ago. And we sort of rediscovered it here in the last 50 years, how they actually made that Damascus steel.
How in the world, were there specimens to see, or?
Well, when I got started in blacksmithing in the 70s, there's a resurgence of traditional arts like blacksmithing. And people were doing research on how some of this older material was made.
Okay.
How did they make this beautiful steel back 500 years ago?
Let's see him make it nice or whatever he's gonna make.
That's nice.
Well, thank you, John.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Nice meeting you.
Random things. You know they make the random things.
Okay, well, we're gonna walk.
Go on around and look in each of the buildings while we still can.
Yeah.
Church. $1873. Wow. Look at the bell there.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
Go ahead, ring it. Are you allowed to?
That's heavy. Wow. He's still talking.
South, yes, southeast of Blue.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was a child.
Yeah. So, yeah, both of them go from out that way. Hello. Hello. How are you, Miss Brenda? I can't know that was you. I can't see. Brenda Norman. We did food concessions for you at Daisy. Oh, I can't see it, so I'm not here. I would have, well, it's been a long time. It was a few years ago. I've never been to this, Candlelight.
Is he recording? They're going to go look in the store.
Watch your step here. That's I have a drop right there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're watching the video.
Oh, okay. We want to, Caleb. So maybe head to Caleb.
Calaboose. Do we have to pay to get out if we go in there, or how's that work?
Yeah, that sounds like a
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Good way to make money. I think you used to be in our Civil War, didn't you?
Maybe.
Nation Days?
Yeah, you used to go out
I'm
there.
Brenda Baldwin.
Oh,
Ghost,
okay,
right?
nice.
Mhm. And these are the, this is the Nation Days
I guess
reunion here.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Reva.
You want to come on in here? If you aren't good, I'll have a place for you.
Okay.
Take a look.
So what's the maximum number of prisoners you can have?
Well, it's actually designed for one for sale, but we can probably get at least 10 in there.
At least 10, okay. To double them up, double up the rooms, triple up the rooms.
If they're that bad, we'll just double them up. They have to take turns sleeping on the hard cot.
Okay, this is great. I like it.
Stand up.
How would you like to be in here at night with only candles?
Oh, there's the baby. Baby, aren't you a doll? What? Don't step off your butt.
If you didn't have these lights on, you wouldn't be able to see anything. I mean, literally nothing. And that's why they ran school from early in the morning till evening.
What year did this school date back to?
I can't tell you that. I don't
You don't
know. All I know is they brought it from Bluford.
From Bluford?
Yeah, west of Bluford. There was a lady who just left here who went to the first grade in this school.
She did?
Yeah.
You know where Hickory Hill Church is, where Old 15 and New 15 come together there?
Yes.
Okay.
It was right
Well,
across the
it's
street.
set across the
On
street
the
from
north
the
side.
church. It's on the north side, on the corner of Fletcher and Farrar's farm.
I noticed that.
You turn them into homes or you turn them into grain elevators.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad they donated it.
This little bit.
They're great.
It's on the chair, it's not on the wooden ones.
He would be over here.
Yes.
They're probably. Had all the education right.
Hey, how's it going?
During Civil War times. But Lincoln shot the gun, locked it, overrode the War Department, and they began to order these guns. This is a carbine made for cavalry people. It's short, so it's one that you can manage on horses okay. And they actually wore it with this thing around their neck and through this little swivel, so if it got caught on a tree, it would break away. These guns, someone asked a while ago, how far would they shoot? Well, I don't know how far they were effective, but they had this ramp that you can pull up. If you watch old Western movies, you'll see, occasionally you'll see a Spencer, because they were used after the Civil War against the Indians. But if you raise that up, the range is supposed to be 900 yards, which is an amazing distance. I don't know how accurate they'd be at 900 yards, but that's what they were rated. So, if you have any questions about Civil War or...
We got in here a little bit late. Is that black powder and ball?
That long.
So it's a bullet?
Yes. And it's a rimfire. If you know anything about today, most of the high caliber are center fire. In other words, the firing is right in the middle.
Hits
right in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But like a 22 is a rimfire.
Okay.
So, but it's only about that long, and that's why you could put 7. It was the most successful lever action guns in the Civil War. Since then, Winchester came along. Let me give you an example. Since Spencer was early in this, and so what happens when you throw the lever, it kicks out the spent cartridge, puts in a new one.
Mm-hmm.
But notice, it didn't do anything about cocking the hammer. See, this is a big old hammer like they used on muzzle loaders. Can you see?
Right,
You
yeah.
see that?
Yeah.
So people say, well, wait a minute, didn't cock the hammer. Well, remember he was first. Henry Ford didn't put power brakes on his first Model T either. See, in other words, things have to evolve.
So are you telling me all you had to do was pull the trigger and it...
What I was trying to make, Spencer, well, I don't know. Oh yeah, I had to cock it back twice. When you do this, it kicks out the old shell and puts in a new one. But didn't cock a hammer. So
you have to do that
in
yourself.
order to shoot it, you got to cock it.
Really?
But that's no big deal. I mean, that's a lot better than taking time out, getting behind a rock, and loading it down the barrel.
And getting shot while you're doing it.
Yeah,
probably.
exactly right. Exactly.
I never did think that was a good idea.
Oh, terrible idea.
Okay. Where is that?
That's down near Oxford, Mississippi. You know, the home of Ole Miss.
I've heard that.
Ole Miss, the football, the university
Right.
of Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Hurricane Creek is just north of Oxford. My granddad fought down there, but he didn't have this gun at that time. So he's out there with a sword and pistol. That's what they were trained to use. When this came along, though, that was a big step up. And so he was able, in the Battle of Nashville, to use this. But one time I went down there to find Hurricane Creek because he had written home in those letters about his exploits. And I found the creek, so we drove into Oxford and pulled up at the courthouse square. And just so happened we parked right by a sign that said, this building was built in 1872, I think it was, 1872, 1876, because the Union forces had burned our courthouse. And so my granddad was down there and part of that burning process. So
He was responsible.
I was very careful who I talked to.
Exactly.
What I said about, because they wouldn't take kindly to my granddad's activities. Now they fought in Tennessee mostly against a man by the name of Nathan Bedford Forrest.
Okay, now they have a
Yeah.
Civil War reenactment, don't they, in Kentucky, in honoring him for a battle that they had there?
No, I know about
Nathan
it.
Bedford, have you been to that one? It's in May.
Forrest fought some, but his big deal was in Tennessee because he lived in Tennessee. By the way, Nathan Bedford Forrest is the only individual, Union or Confederate, who rose from the rank of private to general during the war.
Wow.
Nathan Bedford Forrest. Now, he was a cavalryman, Tennessee, I think it was 7th Cavalry. Sort of a genius. One of the most incredible things I talk about a little bit in my book was at that battle when my great-grandfather was down there at Hurricane Creek. Forrest took a small group, well, 1,400 people, and headed for Memphis because he knew my granddad was stationed in Memphis. There was a big fort there, and a lot of men were there, unless they were out on a mission. Well, Forrest knew, hey, those guys are all down there in Oxford fighting. I'm going to go up to Memphis and free the prisoners and take the generals captive. The generals, they're not down in Oxford fighting. They're back up there in the comfort of the hotel. So he rode 9 days through flooded creeks and rivers with his men and sent some of them back because they were fatiguing, and came into Memphis at 4 o'clock one morning, surprised the whole town, rode in to the hotel where General Washburn was staying along with some of the other officers, rode right in the lobby, expecting to take them prisoner. But they escaped in their nightclothes.
No.
But he went up to their room and took their uniforms. Now, back in those days, the officers provided their own. They had to provide the uniforms.
Wow.
Rank and file government uniform. But he went up and got all of the top officer uniforms that he could gather up and rode off with them, along with.
You see how they have candles?
He wasn't successful in freeing the prisoners, but he had made a stir in the community and took off with these uniforms. And so obviously it was an embarrassment to Washburn and the others. They wanted him back, and so he was able to negotiate so that for the return of their uniforms, they provided him with enough clothes to make uniforms for all of his officers. Just the material.
The material.
Material was,
Oh my.
this is made out of wool. And so even the Confederates, even though they had a lot of cotton in the South, they made their uniforms out of wool too, because it has a lot of advantages. It doesn't burn, doesn't melt, it breathes with you. In other words, when it's cold, it keeps you warm. When it's hot, it breathes a little bit. It's still hot, but it breathes a little bit. And so he made off. Now, Forrest has some negative things about him. One of them was he was a slave trader before the war in Memphis. That's a bad thing. Another one was in a battle at Fort Pillow. There were colored people participating, fighting with the Union soldiers. He took offense to that, and it was considered a massacre. He killed a lot of them. But
this is going to be on YouTube. This will be on YouTube.
Oh.
We're filming tonight.
If you don't mind, some people don't like to be on film, but.
I don't know.
Well, if you don't want us to put you on,
No, I'm just kidding.
Now, if you want to access it, it'll be a few weeks before we get this up.
Yeah,
But it will be T as in Tom.
It's just going to
be B as in Brenda dot, and C as in Chloe. So T, B, and C, Grand Tour Adventures. And you can just type that in on YouTube, and this will be headed.
Well, all you'd have to do is put in Jefferson County Historical Society, because
Jefferson
it'll
County.
pop up. It'll pop up
he's going to
under
put
that.
it under Jefferson County Historical Society.
Okay. How can I find it? Not being able to remember
YouTube.
any of those
YouTube.
things. Well,
Just Jefferson, where you're at, Jefferson County Historical Society.
in YouTube and up it'll come.
It'll be a few weeks because we've done a lot of filming at different places.
That's why you were asking all these questions. You're trying to draw it out of me.
Well, I actually, I don't know if you were participating at that time. My husband and I put on the Nason Day Civil War reenactment back several years ago.
The what was it?
Nason, Illinois.
Nason.
Civil War reenactment.
Oh.
I don't know if you were there.
No, I wasn't.
But
what year was it?
it was, what year was that, Tom? 2000? Around 1998, 2000?
1998, 1999.
88.
And maybe after that, but we only have the video.
We have one video up.
That was it.
I was still living in Decatur.
Decatur, okay.
I grew up here between Mount Vernon and Centralia.
Okay.
Just 1 mile south of the line between Marion and Jefferson. Then when I got out of college, I went to Decatur. I worked there all my life. Retired in I built a house there on the farm in '04. So I came back somewhere between 2000 2004.
Okay.
But all those intervening years, 61 I graduated, went to Decatur.
Do you by any chance have a card or a way I can get in touch with you?
Well, see, I'll tell you something.
You don't have any pockets.
How do you know that?
Because
Thank you.
how are you going to get out of here?
We're going this way. We're good.
Is there a ramp over there?
Oh, we just lifted her up.
We'll lift her out. We're good. Ready? Hold on. 2, 3.
Hello, what are you doing? Sewing?
I'm quilting.
You're quilting.
Yeah.
So are you actually a quilter then?
Yes, I am.
My goodness, that's hard to do.
It's not. It's something I do to make me feel relaxed and peaceful.
My girlfriend does that, and
Yeah,
I
it's
couldn't
just
do it if you gave me money.
quilting.
That's adorable.
All the little.
I couldn't do it. My stitches would be.
You know, when you start, your stitches are bad, or long, or large, or whatever. But the more you do it, the better you get at it. It's
So you're
like
just sitting
anything.
there. It's not on a loom or anything. You're just
No.
doing that in your lap.
See the dark stitches? Those ones here. This is a stitch that stabilizes the quilt.
Oh.
And then you just can quilt it. It's all.
Hmm.
It stays pretty stable when you get a. They called it basting.
Basting. Mm-hmm. Well.
And I'm almost done. I only have one more row. So.
You're a better person than I am because I cannot do that. I'm just.
It's relaxing.
That's what my friend says. She sits around at night, and she says it's cold, and she'll hold that on her lap, and it's
Oh yes, you
warm.
gotta see. It's nice. If you just lay it on here on your arm,
Uh-huh.
it has weight to it. And when you're just sitting here, you're just pretty warm and cozy under your quilt.
And the women back in the day, that's how they made how they had to make their quilts by hand like that.
Well, they probably started sometime in the end of August after the harvest and everything. And then they began to get ready for winter, so they would repair all these things like this and get them ready for.
Oh, they did.
Because it was easier. They still, it was still a quilt because anytime you attach 3 layers together, because there's the outside of the bottom and stuff. Okay. And they usually use old quilts for the inside, and then they made a new
Really?
dressed up the outside.
Well, that's.
So if you pick that up, you can see that one's probably a lot better than.
Oh yeah, it is. Wow.
Because they just, like if they had some old clothes or something. Well.
Hi, I'm Reba McKee, and I'm out visiting the historical village tonight. This is our annual Candlelight Walk, and I'm here with the Ogosha Trail Daughters of the American Revolution chapter. And this is significant to me because my third great grandfather built the calaboose over here. So, welcome.
Very nice, very nice.
Thank you.
Huh? They just went to go walking.
Well, I wanted to get her on video.
Well, she's...
Here, get this man right here, Tom.
I don't want to break your camera.
Oh, I don't think you will. What have you been doing?
Just retiring.
You're retired?
Yeah.
Well,
Taking little trips here and there.
where are you going?
And we went 2 or 3 weeks ago. We took a road ride down into it's a scenic byway, because we like to drive scenic roads. And we went to we started out, and it's a windy road. It's on 116.
116.
And it's a windy road. And before we drove away, the one that got Martin Luther King, that's where he stayed for several. And he was caught, and then he was.
I've never been here for a while. We're videoing. That's Tom. I met him in Florida. And you should, because I tell you what, as far as I'm concerned, I know that you do not have a TV other than that, because there's more information. I know it's more interesting than there's music.
Has it been in here? Oh.
Well, we're gonna get on. It's nice to see you. Maybe I'll run into Reba out here.
She could be back around.
I'm here, didn't I?
We saw one because we parked over there. We saw one when we were trying to do that.
Her life is invested. I mean, she
There's still a lot of people here.
Well, I made some earlier.
Yeah, just went that way, behind that partition.
Oh, there he is.